Yes? Oh, hello, Bill. Ooh. I'm fine, fine. You mean to work at the new flat?
Why? When are you moving? Today?
I know it's all been chaotic. We completed a week ago, but the people who are buying this place, they've already sold theirs. So they've got to move into a hotel, so they're desperate to move in, so I agreed to move out.
Handle with extreme care, sentimental attachments and all that.
Shut up. I'm sorry, what was I saying?
You agreed to move? Yeah, well, look, do you want to put off coming in, leave it for a day or two?
Oh, no. I've got Mike here, Mike Turnbull. He's sort of supervising things. Yes. Look, look, Bill, if there was something, I mean, if you had something lined up for me, I mean, like something pressing, well, I mean, I would just have to leave it to them, wouldn't I?
Oh, sure, I get your drift, but listen, no flannel, I need you. I'm understaffed, overworked, and up to here, so if you could manage to drag yourself away, I'd be...
Give me half an hour, okay? Steve!
Oh, not now, Mum.
Steve, love, look, I've got to go in.
We'll miss you, honest.
Kitchen cabinets.
They stay.
Storage heater?
They go. Look, Mike. Look, Mike, I've just been talking to Bill Russell, and I told him we were up to here, but he was adamant.
He wants you in?
Like yesterday. He wouldn't take no for an answer.
Tote that barge and lift that bale.
Once we got this show on the road, I'll buy you a burger.
Big deal.
Giant fun burger with Frenchies.
Oh, go wash your mouth out with soap and water.
What have you got against hamburgers?
A moment on the lips, a lifetime on the hips.
I happen to like your hips.
Don't do that.
Stop it, I like it. All right, off you go, Inspector. Have a good day, and don't worry, we'll manage, won't we?
I think between us I'll manage, yes.
Oh, how wonderful it is to relax, assured that everything is in your capable hands. Get off.
I don't know about you two.
I happen to love your mother, okay?
Will I see you tonight?
You betcha. Good luck.
Thank you.
Heavy, is it?
Well, if I drop it, it ain't, 'cause it's bleeding off.
Oh, come on, chloroform, humping.
I am humping, it's him not humping.
Dudley, give him a hand.
This one do.
Cut the comedy, we ain't got all day.
Here, Dudley, get your ass in here, quick.
Hop over there.
I just happened to find a key to this cupboard. Well, what do you reckon?
Answer it, then.
I left Hendon to get away from people like you.
I'm not people, I'm your prospective stepfather. Anyway, I thought it might be personal. Like Karen.
Could you open that?
That? Leave off.
What does that mean, yes or no?
Child's play. I'll cut my teeth on one of these.
That was my Auntie Wynne.
Oh?
She's already over there.
Over where?
At the new flat.
What's she doing there?
Well, she's waiting for us.
Waiting for us to do what?
She's driven up from Herne Bay with a load of luggage, a wheelchair and my granddad on the roof rack. She's waiting for us to move her in. To move them in. It's their new home.
Did you know about this?
It was mentioned.
It wasn't bloody mentioned to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I do understand. Yeah. Yeah, just... Yeah, all right, will do. Yeah, bye. You look all right to me.
Feel fine.
Now what do I say? Welcome back?
And to which I say I'm glad to be back.
Cliché's over?
Business as usual.
I've been standing in for Bob, so I've been using your office. Want me to pick cake?
Why?
Just say the word.
Are you livable with?
Are you?
Give me a minute, okay?
Sure.
Good morning.
Morning.
Someone had better start taking me seriously. Do you intend to pull that pin, Mrs. Tate? Yeah. Mrs. Forbes! Mrs. Forbes! Big girl.
Ex-policeman.
We're in the middle of July.
July's got flat feet.
Miss Phillips.
At the dentist, impacted wisdom tooth.
Oh, horrible.
Unbearable. His tooth ain't helping any either.
I can't get over that disc.
I'll give you a leg up.
Oh, shut up. Well, I wonder how long it'll stay looking like this.
Not long.
Oh, lovely. Where'd they come from?
I attend a funeral a couple of days back.
Oh, thank you. Oh,
Beginning to feel at home?
I guess I've got to show my face. Is he free?
For you? I think he missed you. In his own funny way.
Now, what police officers do in their own time is their own business, providing they don't infringe the rules. Well, your simple addition isn't just faulty, Mrs. Croft, it's positively dangerous. You go on putting those sort of two and twos together and you could wind up in court. On what grounds? Well, you name them, beginning with malicious slander.
What was all that about?
That was Bob Croft's wife, and that is the 5th time she's phoned me in 3 days. And before you say anything, take a look at that. That is a letter written by Mrs. Croft to the DAC.
Informed by a reliable source that Glamourpuss is or has been engaged in carnal relations. Conduct totally unbecoming. Officer of Detective Inspector rank attached to the woman's marriage.
Is she?
Well, she's implying that
She's
Bob Croft...
implying that you and Bob had a torrid affair, that the powers that be took exception and banished him to the boondocks.
Bob asked for a transfer north.
Scotland.
It's not Siberia.
Glasgow Central.
All right, I'll settle for Siberia.
You may have to.
Meaning what?
Meaning, I can only turn a blind eye for so long.
Mike Turnbull.
Maggie, publish the bans or banish the publicity. Put your house in order, yes?
Put my house in order.
I don't make the rules.
The rules, as you call them, are nonsensical and totally hypocritical.
I've told you.
You don't make the rules.
Right.
You just go by them. Sorry. That's unfair. But you've got to admit some rules are made to be broken.
I didn't hear that.
Very salubrious. Very salubrious indeed.
I thought you said it was child's play.
Patience, Fat Henry, patience.
Gonna look a bit silly if the old bill drives past, aren't we?
Will you shut up? I'm trying to listen for the tumblers.
You two go and listen for the law. How long, Dudley?
I'm working cack-handed. Relax.
Second time around, it needs more thought. Bill, you can't just leap into marriage. Besides, at the end of the day, what have you got? Another bit of paper?
Oh, Maggie, our lives are governed by pieces of paper, and don't pretend you didn't know because you do. Look, here is a statement, one of hundreds, for the prosecution, swearing that a certain man was at a certain place at a certain time, practically guaranteeing conviction minimum 6 years. Apart from this, statement from the defence, swearing that this lot are lying in their teeth. Paper, I must say, here's the paper. Welcome back.
Oh, I can't tell you how glad I am to be back. So, what have you got for me?
A piece of paper.
Oh, you want me to resign? I'll sign it.
Calm down.
Well? Oh, well, it's your privilege.
Nice to know you can still do it. What's the matter with you? What you done? What's... Chloroform, Reggie! In here!
What's up with him?
Well, he had a father like, went on peculiar.
We ought to do something.
Like what?
Well, what, give him a kiss of life?
What do you mean, we? You give him a kiss of life, you're so concerned.
We ought to do something.
We ought to have a butcher's inside that safe. That's what we ought to do. Come on, Dudley, perform.
I don't believe this. Come on.
It's not bad.
Not bad.
Well, apart from the watermark.
Apart from the watermark, it's damn near perfect. Don't let me add it's a reject. They've improved on that.
What's this, $1,000 bill? What's that worth?
Well, bit of exchange depends on the strength of the pound. Call it 630.
Give or take.
A quid or two.
Yeah, well, who's quibbling? What's this?
1,000 Deutschmarks worth about 250 quid.
Where did this come from?
Regional Crime Squad got a tip-off, raided the premises off Denmark Street a couple of days ago. All they found were signs of a swift departure, and about 700,000 of those in a row of dustbins.
Any of these in circulation?
They weren't saying.
Not even a hint?
It's all gone very quiet out there. They're frightened. It's all a bit too big for them.
Well, if it's that big, how come we got in on it?
Well, what little information we have suggests that there's another 4, possibly 5 million notes of that sort of denomination stashed in and around our patch.
You want me to turn them up?
Well, turn up a few, preferably with a print, something to give us a lead. Not for the Treasury, for me. Tied up by lunchtime, I'll buy you a drink.
You pushing the boat out?
Why not? Unless you care to pay.
Oh.
I think...
What?
I think I'd better have a word with my mum's accountant. This is silly.
What do you mean, silly?
This is silly. All this, what we're going to do with it, it's silly.
If this is silly, you're talking to a very silly person there. Just shut up and fill the bags. I have the urge upon me.
You suppress it.
You what?
You heard. This lot goes out of sight until we know what's what.
This lot gets divided up 4 ways.
Burning a hole in your pocket, is it, Reggie?
Look, if there's going to be a share out, I want my share back off.
You ought to give the man a hearing, Reg. We're all in this together.
Well, one for all and all for one, is it?
Look, no spending. Not yet, not until we know it's safe.
And in the meantime?
Well, we bury it.
Where?
In the open.
The man's right.
Where?
Dudley's place. All above board, under the floorboard.
That means Alice will have to be in on it.
Your Alice is one of the straightest people I know.
Does that give her a partnership?
Yeah, why not? She can have half your share.
I'm sorry we're late. I mean in arriving. But I understood that it wasn't until you phoned that I even knew that you were supposed to be, Are you all right? Mike, this is my Auntie Wynne. And my grandfather George.
We've been waiting here for the better part of 3 hours.
You, caught us on the hop.
On the hop?
Seems our communications have been a bit cocked up.
I'd be obliged if you would help my brother-in-law out of the car.
Steve, help your granddad out of the car.
And take care of the luggage. They knew perfectly well. They had advance warning. Look at that. A loose floorboard. Someone's only got to step on that to break a leg.
The surveyor took it up. It'll be fixed.
Everything in hand. Your quarters will be prepared. They were expecting us. Expecting us to what? Camp on the street? Supposing you wanted to go to the lavatory.
I do.
This block doesn't even boast a porter. The nearest telephone's a mile away and it's been vandalised.
Are you sure you haven't got the days mixed up?
Don't complicate the issue, George. You're confused enough as it is. I've got everything written down. It was all agreed, all sorted out. Here, in writing. 15th.
Today's the 12th.
I told you to go before we left Herne Bay.
In there.
Never ceases to amaze me how some people live. What on earth induced Maggie to buy this place?
It was love at first sight.
Really? I never thought of Maggie as impulsive.
She exercised a bit of imagination.
I think she could have done better.
She's happy.
Let's hope she stays that way.
Cheer up. A lick of paint, you won't recognise it.
More than a paint job she's in need of. Where's she going to sleep?
Well, that's a question that gets asked in the gorilla joke. You heard it?
No.
Well, the tagline is anywhere it bloody likes.
You trying to tell me something?
Put that hammer down, I'll try. As a prospective stepfather, I think she'll cut your prospects off.
That oven is big enough.
For an old boiler, just like this.
Steve, I really do think we ought to get the furniture sorted.
Sure.
Well, I'd like to start arranging, so finish your conversation with, I don't think it's fair on your mother to get back after a hard day's work to find a state of total chaos, do you? Just a little cooperation, that's all I ask.
Right.
You're a good boy.
Easy, Bob.
What are you? A bunch of bleating amateurs? You go out on a simple blag and come back the most wanted men in Britain.
Alice, this is one robbery that is not ever going to get reported.
Oh.
You can rest assured that apart from the people in this room, nobody knows a thing.
I've heard of bloody ostriches, but talk about blind stupidity. Have you got a clue what you are into?
Look.
Nobody knows a thing. Who do you think you are, the Invisible Men? Have you got any idea of the kind of organisation that's behind this sort of money, have you?
They'll never know.
They'll make it their business to know. And when they do, I wouldn't be seen dead with any one of you.
Alice, you are out of order.
And you are out of your element, Dudley. These are dads, Dudley, dads!
Look, we've got to agree on a plan of action.
Plans?
What is it? What?
It's money, let's spend it.
Let's talk.
Talk?
That's right, talk.
And when we finish talking...
We put it to the vote.
It's a lot of money, Reg.
This is a lot of paper. Waste paper. And it's going to spell a lot of trouble for you lot unless you start using your loans.
We're going to split it.
No, we're not.
I'll take my whack.
You won't.
Reggie, this is funny money.
Yeah, well, I'll laugh all the way to the Bahamas.
Oh, don't talk so bloody daft.
Don't you tell me I'm talking...
Don't you talk to my aunt bloody woman like that. She's got us mapped right.
Sit down. Now, Alice is right. We know nothing about this lot, nothing. Where it stems from originally, where it was destined for ultimately. Now, I can't speak for you lot, but I know one thing. I'd rather just walk away from this lot with a pocket full of change than end up at the bottom of the river with a pocket full of stones. Now, if we're going to come out of this with a bit of profit, we're going to have to box clever.
We're going to have to take some advice.
Stick your advice.
I'll arrange a meet with the man.
Oscar.
We need him in on this.
He comes expensive.
He comes reliable.
We've been well looked after by him over the years.
Look, bring him in on this and we'll end up owing.
I would rather end up owing than end up in Stuck. Has Oscar ever let us down before, has he?
Oh, no. He always rises to the occasion.
Well, then, let's put it to the vote. Those in favour of consulting the man.
I'm all in favour.
I'll go along.
Reggie?
I'm in.
Dad?
Whereas my old dad used to say 10% of something is better than 100% of nothing.
You better give him a bell then, Alice. Tell him it's urgent. See if he can come round this evening. About 7, yeah?
Yeah.
Cheers.
Thank
the nearest I've ever been to being rich. Was you ever rich, Dudley?
No, not for long.
How much is this lot worth?
Hang with that. Calculator, Alice.
Dollars. Divided by 1.
Gives a grand sterling total of £1,582,278 and 4p.
Can we get away with this, Fat Henry?
Well, like they say, you have to speculate if you want to accumulate. It's all a gamble, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, Tammy did well. Yeah, fine. How much the collar the suspect down in counterfeit notes?
Ooh, where?
Joe Carlisle's, a betting shop.
Makes sense. How much?
400 quid.
Is he being searched?
No, not yet.
Where is he now?
Well, they're processing him.
You better have a word.
Well, can't someone else deal with it?
Now then, I am going to buy you that drink.
The thing I most admire about you, Gov.
What's that?
Sense of priorities.
Policeman's lot is terrible art.
Maggie. It's for you.
So. Dad Forbes?
Rather than leave it as a surprise, I thought I'd let you know that your father and your Auntie Win are here.
What? Where? Where are you speaking from? What are they doing there?
Well, your father's recovering from the journey, and your Auntie Win's about to arrange the furniture and no doubt the sleeping arrangements to her particular specifications.
We're not ready for them yet. I mean, I haven't even...
Haven't even told me. Well, what do you want me to do? You want me to tell her she's not wanted?
Don't be stupid.
Pardon?
Can you cope?
Easily. I can always get on my bike.
Look, do what you can. Try and keep the peace. I'll sort it all out when I get back, all right?
I'd appreciate a tender word.
It's difficult right now.
No word of love.
I'll talk to you later, okay?
Thanks a lot. Sorry I've taken up your precious time.
Bye.
So, how are things?
Fine.
Good.
I said things are fine.
Yeah, I heard you.
You've read my medical report?
Got it framed. All I was going to ask was...
Am I living in the Garden of Eden?
Are you?
Oh, we have our ups and downs. Franco.
Never doubted it.
So, what's new? Got any problems?
Few.
Domestic?
Domestic.
Jenny? Got an answer?
Well, things are, well, they're not too good, no.
That bad?
Pretty bad.
You're not thinking of divorce?
It could come to that, yeah.
Hi, Jake.
Well, don't speak.
What was that?
Well, I hoped. I mean, I thought you had lockjaw.
No, I had an impacted wisdom tooth.
Wisdom tooth? You still got it?
Yeah, well, look.
No, thanks. You had an injection?
You're kidding. They were drilling for over an hour.
You're talking normally. Well, for you.
Oh, I waited for the swelling to go down, didn't I?
You had lunch?
Oh, yeah. Well, I thought it best, you know, to grab a bite, something easily digestible, just in case.
Sit down, just in case.
No, I'm fine.
I'm not. Feel faint. From hunger. I want you to take over. Suspect downstairs been apprehended with a pocket full of dud notes. Finish these, then go and have a word with him. Keep him company while I feed the ulcer. Will do?
Oh, yeah, sure. Oh, Jake, right if I stay on in here?
Make yourself at home.
I may look young, but I'm not stupid.
I'll take your word.
Where did this come from?
I found it.
Where?
In a dustbin.
There are £4,600 there.
Much isn't it?
What'd you do with the rest?
I lost it.
Where?
On a horse.
What horse?
Punter's Lair, 2 o'clock, Kempton.
I can check that.
I'm sure you can.
I've got a paper.
I'm sure you have.
I study form.
I'm sure you do.
You taking the piss?
Sit lightly.
Well?
He says he found it.
Maybe he did. All right, I'll have a go. Ready?
What is this, a wind-up? You playing games? Want to play games with me? You think the mood to dies with death? Don't try it on with me, little man. Don't try it on with me. I'm in the mood to put you through the ringer. You think I'm joking? I want one word out of place. Just one word!
All right, easy.
Easy nothing. I'm going to have him. Name?
I'm clean, Gav, honest.
I asked what your bloody name was.
Loon. Reginald Loon.
That does it. I'm going out. I'm going out to get the book. And I'll come back in here and batter you to death with it!
get them like that? Young, ambitious.
Worse than bloody animals. Talk about being out of bloody line. Pouncing on me like that, I could have had a heart attack. An honest citizen goes out to get a bit of air, and before you know it, he's being mugged by the bloody law.
Now, don't bullshit me. You, reckon you found this?
Straight up.
Where?
Under a brick.
I can always bring the animal back. I asked you where.
Swan Court, opposite, down the other end, the rubbly end.
Is that your real name, Reginald Loon?
I did some porridge a long time ago. When I come out, I changed my name by deed poll.
What was it before you changed it?
Dromgoole, Dermot Dromgoole. It was a prisoners' rehabilitation society that suggested that I do it.
Oh, why was that?
Well, they saw me as being a victim of a perverted course of justice.
How come?
Well, I was fitted out, wasn't I? I mean, you lot wanted a body and I was the first one available. I am the result of a miscarriage, but I don't bear a grudge. I'm going straight now, honest I am. I found religion. Got a part-time job with a festival of light mob. I am no longer capable of wrongdoing.
You're past it.
You've been known to take a drink?
6 months and they pensioned me off. This sort of caper, don't want to know. Regional Crime Squad, their baby, they can clean it up.
Where does that leave me?
I want you out of it, off my patch.
I'll leave it to you then.
Yeah, you leave it to me.
Moment you give the word, I'll be off.
And stay off, right? So you stuck a tail on Reggie Loon?
I did.
Who?
Dodger Coombs.
Nice one. Wild?
Personally.
And Maggie, she busying herself?
She's back with a vengeance. She's arranging a meet.
Calls himself Reginald Loon.
Right on, I know.
Have I said something funny? Are you on something? Are you sniffing?
Oh, come on, Maggie, don't get heavy. Reggie's small time. He's an eeny-weeny-meeny man, and has been. Yesterday's nobody. Steals piggy banks from tiny tots.
What's the word on this counterfeit note caper? Got all quiet your end.
That's big time, and very, very heavy.
I want to meet.
Steve, don't punish yourself. Make a phone call.
There's only one phone.
You can only use one phone at a time.
No, it's difficult.
If it's private, we'll leave, won't we?
There's a telephone up the road.
Is there?
Yeah, but it's been vandalised.
How do you know?
Wynne told me.
Well, I dare say she'll soon have that back in order.
Her heart's in the right place.
Thanks for the tip. I'll know where to strike.
Friends, Romans and country folk, lend me your ears.
He snapped.
No, seriously, look, I've got to talk about this. It's been preying on my mind, and I want to discuss it with you among men before Mum gets back.
We men are listening. Aren't we?
So what are you saying? You can't help or you won't help?
I'm saying it's very thin ice and I don't fancy skating on it. There's big money behind this caper, and behind the money is a lot of mean men.
I didn't come here for a lecture.
What is this? What's happened to you? You've changed.
Getting mean in my old age.
And I'm not lecturing, I'm explaining.
I'm not looking for an explanation, I'm looking for information that can be laid. Now I've been off sick, now I'm back in business. Russell's thrown this one at me and I intend to make a catch. Are you with me?
You used to be reasonable. Well, reasonably reasonable. What is this, a one-woman crusade?
I've had time to think, Eskimo. To ask myself why it is I despise criminals. Now I think I know. It's because they don't care who suffers, who goes under, as long as it makes a profit for them. And who is it that suffers, who goes under? The person least capable of defending themselves. And whose job is it to defend those people? It's mine. Now I'm looking for a lead and I'm going to get it. Or I'm going to make sure your fur starts flying. Reginald Loon.
He's part of a penny ant firm, operating out of premises not 100 miles from...
Yeah, well, we'll just have to wait and see, won't we? No, I haven't seen him yet.
One's got long tapering fingers,
Well,
one's got
yes,
short
if I do.
spatulate fingers, and the other's got a fist like a bunch of bananas. Which one's the plumber?
Well, fair one, the BMW.
Oh,
Look, do you mind? I'm having my ears bent two ways. I'll call you back. Now, what's going on?
Maggie wants him out on Obbo.
So?
So she just happened to mention in passing he was the best man for the job.
Because?
Because he doesn't look like a policeman.
And?
And he feels he's been discriminated against.
Do you?
I do.
How can you feel discriminated against?
All right, enough. This is not the Oxford Debating Society. It is a central London nick, and we're discussing a forgery case. A biggie.
A biggie?
What?
I simply said a biggie, sir.
Well, don't. You sound like a parrot. What have you turned up?
I've drawn a blank. Everywhere.
If it's bad news, don't want to know.
Good news.
Give her a chair.
Now, not so much a lead as a pointer. Now, a gang of petty thieves known locally as the Riverside Trio, except there's 4 of them. No. Hear me out. Now, they're into anything that shows a profit, but they specialise in removing items, preferably antiques, from unoccupied houses.
We're discussing a forgery case, Maggie.
Just 1 minute, OK? Now, the leader of this so-called gang is a bit of a mystery, known as Fat Henry. Now, his team consists of a failed boxer, nicknamed Chloroform, and an ex-safecracker, labelled Dudley Two Fingers.
He active?
The Yard know him, yes.
How long have they known him?
Since he was Dudley Five Fingers.
All right, that's 3. Who's the 4th?
Calls himself Reginald Loon.
The plot thickens.
Doing it just. Let's just hope Dodger hasn't lost him.
Meantime,
dig up as much background detail as you can.
Right. Me on the phone, you in the car.
Would anybody care to fill me in?
What time does Maggie get home normally?
Normally?
We expect her when we see her.
How convenient. I need a strong man to help me with something heavy.
Steve?
Thank you.
Go to.
If it's too much trouble.
I'm coming.
Oh! I'm not asking you to put your head on the block.
No, Mr. Guthrie, just not one up.
Oh, come on now, you're being coy.
But it would give me an unfair
I know it's
advantage
confidential
over the
information. I wouldn't be asking if it wasn't, would I?
Compete for information.
Well, sure.
Then I'll
In
compete.
which case I could read about it in the Police Gazette.
Why you? Well, I thought it best to go to the Fountainhead.
Try another task.
Yes, we have met, actually. It was at the annual...
Yeah.
Oh, that's very flattering.
All I'm asking for is a hint.
No, I live at home, actually, with my father and my son. He's
Yes, you do,
about
homie.
to start university.
All right, that's better.
No, not my father.
Right. Yeah, I'm sorry I put you on the spot.
Oh, why, no, sir. It's
All square.
impossible.
Well, if we come up with a body...
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, I'll buy you a large one.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Bye.
If you're wearing an earring, I'll ignore you. Hello? Hello, Dodger. Sergeant Phillips? You there yet? About 15 minutes ago. Yeah, I'll get back to you.
What's Phillips driving?
Ford, Echo 15.
And what's being said?
Looks like a long wait.
Maggie, telephone at your new flat. Is it operational?
It was at lunchtime.
All right, then. Off you go.
I'm not asking for special treatment.
Well, you're not getting any. Heard what he just said. It's going to be a long wait. Anything exciting happens, we'll give you a bell.
You sure?
Sure. Off you go.
My overtime sheet.
Should make you the richest man in the building.
Oh, I remember that.
I'm not hanging about, Alice.
Give him 5 minutes, please, Oscar.
OK, so where is he? Anybody know?
Well, he won't be far away. He's an interested party.
Look, you're pushing your luck, you realise that. He's probably out there getting pulled right now. That occur to anybody?
Not Reggie, he's too clever for that.
Well, like you, dickhead. Look, I tell you what, you've bitten off more than you can chew. You do realise that, don't you?
We're here to discuss terms, Oscar.
Well, I'll tell you, it's going to cost you.
Didn't think you function free of charge.
And don't think you're into money, because you ain't.
There's a lot of money in these bags,
There's
Oscar.
a lot of forged notes in them bags, Henry.
You saying that lot is worthless?
So you, Sunbeam, not worth the paper it's printed on. What you going to do, try and offload it? The Lord have you before you had time to convert enough of that to get yourself a bent lawyer. What you going to do, put an ad in the paper, reward wanted? What do I have to do to get this message across to you, eh?
Don't go off the deep end. Just sit down and explain, eh?
Right, well, there's only one option open to you.
Oh, yeah, what's that?
Well, it might have a resale value. You with me?
You mean sell it back?
That's right, sell it back to the people what printed it. I'll have to ask about, right? Discuss, negotiate.
Well, what's it going to be worth? 10%?
I don't know. I told you I'll have to negotiate. Look, this stuff is manufactured by a large organisation. £1 million outlay brings in a... Can't see that.
It's Reggie. You on your own?
No, I brought the Dagenham girl pipers with me. Come on, Alice, let me in. What are we holding here, then, a wake?
Where the hell have you been?
I got pulled.
You did what?
It's all right, don't worry, I've smoothed it all out.
You got pulled? Pulled for what?
Routine questioning. It happens, Oscar, as you doubtless know. I did a bit of that, collected a bit of verbal from a right animal and kaput. All over. They released me.
Were you followed?
Leave off. Am I that simple?
C.I.D. Barrett. Oh, hello, Dodgy. Problems?
Jake, this is a coalition job.
Sorry, I'm not with you.
If we're supposed to be working in collaboration with regional crime or some other squad, you might have let me know. I don't like working in tandem. Makes my job twice as hard to have some...
Whoa. What you want about?
Did a front tail on this loon character. There's been a third geezer behind us ever since we left 7 Dials.
Where are you?
Just followed Loon into a council block.
You been spotted?
Not yet, but it's looking a bit hairy.
This other tail. He's still with you?
He's right across the street.
Look, I'm telling you, I have been positively vetted, like a Ginger Tom. Painful, but as he would say, somewhat salubrious. And thank you, I'd love a drink.
Here, Oscar, look. If we were to set on 10%...
Ice cubes.
You're bloody lucky to get 10%.
Yeah.
10%,
12%. All right, it is 10%. Is it 10% of the dollar rate, the lira rate, or the sterling equivalent?
On the sterling equivalent.
Yeah, well, I mean...
What's happening?
We're haggling.
How are we doing?
Think of a number.
Between 1 and 5.
4.5.
You'd be bloody lucky.
There you are.
Oh, best glass and 2 pieces of ice.
You're special.
What are you after?
All she can get.
What's 2.5% of the sterling?
250 grand.
Divvied up.
5 ways.
And safe conduct all round, yeah?
Look, the minute it starts looking dangerous, I blow it out, don't I?
And this lot?
Stays here.
You're going to have to deliver in the event.
We'll deliver.
Nice, didn't expect this.
Steve? Yeah. Here we go. Right. Well, cheers.
Cheers. And thank you.
Don't mention it.
There's something I'd like to mention.
Oh, don't be a wet blanket. No one's allowed to be serious for at least... God, is that the time?
I'd just like to say...
But unaccustomed as I am to public speaking...
Steve, I think it behoves us to wish Maggie great joy and happiness in her new home. And may all unwelcome attentions be diverted.
She's talking about burglars.
You feeling out of it, Dad?
No, I'm fine.
Can't offer you any of this, I'm afraid.
Champagne? I could go a pint of bitter.
Yeah, I'll bet you
Well,
could.
I've got things to attend to.
How many glasses of this stuff have you had?
2. 3, but who's counting?
You'll get sent to bed without any supper.
Leave off, Mum.
Yeah, leave off, Maggie. He's a big boy now. And he's got some news to impart.
Mike,
What sort of news?
He's winding you up.
He wants to leave home.
Wants to do what?
This is something that...
You wanted to talk about.
Mike, do you mind? I'll deal with this.
It's Karen.
You know Karen.
Well, I haven't met her, no.
She's wonderful.
She's good for me, yes.
So?
She suggested I move in or call the whole thing off.
Move in where?
With her.
What is it, superior accommodation?
She rents a bedsit and I was called.
What about here?
Well, what about here?
Well, you've got your own room here, all mod cons.
Well, can't she move in here with me?
No way.
Oh, you see what I mean?
No, I don't see what you mean. What are you suggesting? That you move into rented accommodation with this, Karen, and I subsidise you in an Earl's Court love nest while a perfectly good room here stays empty?
There's no question of you subsidising us.
What is she then, an heiress?
Two can live as cheaply as one.
My God! He's just about to start university and he's still talking like an infant. You need a psychiatrist.
I need some air.
Whoops.
So, Oscar, what's the drill?
Finish our drinks, then we split.
Then what?
You keep your heads down and your trap shut, all of you. Understood? One whisper of this gets out, you have some very unwelcome visitors on your doorstep.
You'll keep us posted, yeah?
Yeah, I'll keep in touch with Alice. If I find through I'm the plumber, right? That lot is taps.
With you.
Right. Well, you don't see me again till the share out.
Fair enough.
There was a fairy. Her name was Nuff. Fair enough.
He's pissed.
And you're sober?
I'm going to get my head down. Good night, all.
No.
Right. Better all go one at a time. You all right, Bernard?
I feel very happy.
Off you go, then.
Good night, Alice. Thanks for the hospitality.
You're welcome.
Reggie, Fat Henry, Oscar.
Take care.
Reggie?
I'll give him a second.
What's the matter with you? You don't look too happy.
Me? I'm as right as knowing, Princess, just that...
What?
Well, so near and yet...
Oh, you're not worried about anything. We didn't slip up.
If we had, it'd be on the news by now.
We'll be in touch.
Look after yourself.
You are reasonably confident, yeah?
Yeah, reasonably, yeah.
I mean, you're just taking precautions.
Well, I don't want my fingers burnt any more than you do I?
And nobody's on to us, no way.
Look, if they was onto us, we'd be under surveillance, wouldn't we? And I'd have spotted it, wouldn't I?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to intrude.
Oh, that's all right, then.
It's just that it's getting late for me, and I wanted to say good night before I turned in. I've tucked George in all safe and sound. You won't get a peep out of him till morning.
Thanks. Thank you.
I assumed it was all right for me to have them move the single spare bed into your room.
Where's my bed?
Oh, that's in there, all made up. The single bed's for me. Well, I do have to sleep somewhere.
It's fine.
I'll say good night.
Hold up, I think... Hang about. Yeah, I think this is number 3 now.
I think you're talking a lot of number 2.
It's not easy. You should be sat where I am. It's a council block, communal entrance, a lot of coming and going, toing and froing. And it's getting late.
I'm sure you're doing your best.
I am.
Do better. Out.
We safe?
No, not exactly.
What do you mean?
We are what is known as under observation.
God almighty, are you sure?
Yeah, it sticks out like a sore thumb. Wasn't there when I come in, so I must have followed Reg.
What are we going to do?
No, keep our heads for a start.
Well, supposing they decide to raid?
Right? No, they won't. Not yet, anyway. After bigger fish than our Dudley.
And that?
There? Could have got that anywhere on the street. No, they're after the big uns.
And you? What are you after?
What about a bit of cooperation?
Smooth bastard.
Yeah, you wouldn't be holding anything back, would you?
Like what?
Well, I mean, you haven't talked to anybody, have you? I mean, like, apart from your lot.
Is the Pope Polish? What is this? What are you on about?
I mean, you've looked through the bags, yeah?
For what?
I mean, you've had a look.
Yeah, for what?
I mean, that's all there was right in the safe. I mean, nobody's hanging on to anything.
That's all there was, all of it, look.
No, I don't mean that. I mean, apart from the money.
Apart from the money, what else are you interested in?
Well, now you kind of mention it.
Hmm. Oscar?
Oh, it's all right, love. Sorry, mate.
What's she doing?
I just couldn't sleep.
Well, what's she looking for?
That's all right, love. Relax.
Well, what do you want?
Oh, a glass of water.
Try the tap.
Still looking forward to the good life?
With you?
With me.
Wouldn't let anything come between me and that.
Well, you just hang in there, babe.
Meaning what?
Well, there's this little black book, right? And just to let you know that I know what it is you are not talking about. If you've got it, you hang on to it.
It's important.
Just hang on to it. You with me?
I'm with you.
Great.
I dislike talkative people as a rule. But I tell you this, old son, by the time I've finished, you'll be waxing loquacious. Promise you.